It's confirmed the body was that of Gabby Petito. There was an initial autopsy. Well, what's next? Stick around. Let's talk about it. Join me on the conversation. What's up, blind viewers? How is everybody doing today? All right. So, we have had our initial autopsy, the findings, and it is confirmed, which we suspected all along, that everything we knew and saw, we figured it was going to be her. And it was deemed a homicide, so that means it wasn't an accident. Nobody tripped and slipped and fell or anything like that. It was an it was not an accident. It's deemed a homicide. So we are in the midst of all that. And so I thought I'd come on and talk about some of the stuff that that I found out, some of the stuff that we were talking about, and try to figure out what's next. What's coming next? After we found this out, what is next? I'm kind of hoping that maybe, just maybe, that Linda Lady Redskins will come in here. That would be great. That's what she did for many years. But anyway, so from my understanding, it goes something like this. The initial autopsy was to determine, one, just exactly who it is, and to make sure to confirm, you can say, oh, it meets the description and everything, but this confirmed it through DNA testing and other things that they do, and to decide whether it was accident, homicide, or whatever, and the next steps. So the next thing is there will be the main autopsy, which will go into more in depth, such as, not saying this is the case, this is just a what if scenario, just to explain things. That the next thing is, if there was, broken bones and bruises and lacerations or everything, what order did that come in? If there's, say, a stab wound, it's, what was it? Was it a knife? Was it a serrated knife? Was it a small knife? Was it a long knife? How deep was the wound and how long? Was it a left-handed person, a right-handed person? Where were they standing? Was it down? All that stuff comes now. The initial autopsy doesn't do all that. They just kind of go through the basic stuff. And so the next one is where they're going to really dig deep and find, what happened. And they're also collecting evidence from the scene where she was found. I did see video where they were marking like sides of logs and rocks and all kinds of stuff with red paint, and some of them had numbers on them. So I guess the next thing too is to see if that was a dumping ground, or did it happen there? If it didn't happen there, if there's no evidence of that, then if it's per se, just, I'm not saying that it is, I'm just saying, if they determined that it didn't happen there, that was just a dumping ground, now they have to look for the actual crime scene. So this is all the stuff that's going to happen now. This is what's going to take a while. That first one that was like, okay, yeah, it's her, and it was a homicide. Boom, that came quick. The autopsy was scheduled for yesterday. It happened yesterday. We got the news late yesterday. So now the in-depth stuff comes where, again, they go through everything, and they'll pinpoint the time. They'll have experts from, everything, taking bug evidence. And, if if she was in the ground, this happens and that happens. If she was above ground, well, then you got the temperature, the humidity, the everything that comes into play with all that, and they can nail it down to the time and what and how and all that. So that's what's going to happen next. But in the meantime, we still have Mr. Laundrie, who is still missing. Let's see, Dorothy says, what I'd like the answer to is why did his parents go pick up his car, then later that night reported him missing? The whole car thing is a bit crazy to me. The other thing is the time period where he left where they were, got on a plane, flew home, and helped his father unload what they're reporting anyway, unload stuff of his and Gabby's from a storage unit, and was gone for a couple days and stayed there, and then went back, and all kinds of crap, you know. So it's all wacky, and I have been listening to you, so I do kind of have been thinking of some other things as far as the way she was acting and the whole abuse thing. The van, I'm pretty sure that they were going through the van was a fine-tooth comb. I know that. There was a note in the car. I assume it said he ain't coming back to the car, so they took it. Well, the whole note thing, that's a whole other thing too. Everything is, there's so many different stories with everything that the van, he drove it back. He drove it, pulled it into the, no, he drove the van from there to Florida to his parents' house. Showed up on September 1st with the van and not her. So yeah, the van was right there. But this whole note thing, again, they say, oh, well, some people say, I heard on here actually, some people are saying, oh, they wrote him a note, dropped the car off with a note saying, don't hurt yourself. And then they left, and then they went back the next day. That was on Wednesday. Then they went back Thursday and picked the car up and took it back home. Then their lawyer says that, I don't know about the hitchhiking stuff either. I don't know. Then their lawyer made a statement and put it out to the news, that the news had this statement that this timeline of the parents went out and found a note on the car. When they dropped the car off, then they came home, and then when they went back Thursday, they found a note on the car. So I don't know. If they wrote the note, how did they find the note? And then somebody else said that he drove the car out there, and they went Thursday and picked it up. But the lawyer said that they drove the car out to drop it off for him to come back, and he never did, so they went and picked it up. I haven't been watching news updates, but I hope if this guy did it, he took a short walk in the swamp. I don't know why he was hitchhiking, because he had the van. He drove the van back. I know. There's just so much stuff. I don't know. That's another thing, all this stuff. Oh, he was seen here, and he was seen there, but let's see. Let me see what we got going here. Here, let's go through some of this stuff that I have. This is some stuff. Let's start since we know it's Gabby and they deemed it a homicide, let's start looking at this Brian dude. Let's see what's going on. And again, I've been listening to everybody, and I was doing some searching because a couple of the ladies were in here saying that, because when I first watched the body cam footage, it was, him saying, oh, she did this, she did that, blah, 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 blah. And she was saying, yeah, I did that. I was hitting him. It was bad, blah, 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 and all this other crap. Okay. And then the report about the 911 call was that the person saw her hitting him. Then we got the 911 call and we actually heard it. And the guy said, we see a guy slapping a girl. And then again, listening to the ladies in here saying about how she acted like, one of those, abused people that make excuses and, oh, but he said he's sorry and he loves me and he'll never do it again. Yeah, I heard that story before too. So I started thinking about this stuff and everything else. So I started looking for some stuff. So we'll talk about, let's try to figure out who this dude is, while they go through their things and figure out exactly how it happened, when it happened, how long she was there and all sort of stuff until they release the true information about everything. Let's try to figure out who this guy is. So the first thing I did was I went and I found the friend who talks about how things were. So let's look at that real quick. If you don't mind, let's see what she has to say.
The second or third time, and he was hanging out there, and that's when I first met him.
What was their relationship? Or what is their?
Thank you. On the outside, he's very charismatic, so it seems very loving, and there's no doubt in my mind that she loves him, and I know that, and from how I've always seen it, he loves her. Of course, like any relationship, there was arguments, and she come stay at my house when there was arguments just to get away from it, and I didn't ask much questions because if she wanted to tell me, she could tell me,
How many times did she come and stay with you?
I couldn't give a number, but I mean, within the first year, I want to say at least 7 to 10 times.
Do you remember any one particular incident that you were particularly upset with?
Yeah, well, we were supposed to go line dancing. It was ladies' night, and her drive is about 30 minutes to me, and halfway there, she realized her ID was missing, and so it caused a really big argument because Brian just didn't want her to go out, and there was a jealousy issue, and
so yeah, she
caused a huge argument between them, and she came over and
she talks earlier about how they met on Bumble and
just talked to me about what happened and told me all that she was comfortable telling me.
Did you feel that their relationship was getting more problematic?
I do believe that their relationship, as they kept going on, was getting a little, problematic. Just seemed like there was more and more arguments, and everything she did, I feel like, he thought was wrong, and
this comes into play later
too. In the
too.
body camp, he didn't even support her with her blog, which that's not what a fiance or boyfriend does. They support you with anything you want to do, and that in itself, made me feel like it just continued to get worse.
Brian is not talking to the police. What's your message?
I just wish him and his family would realize how serious it is, and my friend's life is at stake, and I would really just appreciate it if he would speak up. And he saw her last. If he says something, he has more information. Even just one little thing gives us a place.
So it's more, and this was, of course, obviously this was before she was found and all that stuff. But yeah, it's just, that's interesting to hear, her take on things. And let's see, this is just the one, let me, bear with. This was a very good video. This was an interesting video. Very good video. Let me see. I can't. Laptops are not my friend. This is, the channel name is Unmasked. And, yeah, he's probably not there. The dogs ain't find him. He ain't there, I don't think. But, yeah, this channel is called Unmasked. I found this video. The title is, Gabby Petito, Brian's Decline on the Trip. It's a very interesting video, I thought. So, let's, go ahead and play it. As you can see, it's pretty far in. I don't want to sit here and play the whole 11 minutes. So I went to a spot that I thought was kind of relevant, and we'll just go from there. So let's see what this one is.
I personally feel that this incident on August 12th was almost a foreshadowing of what happened when she was killed. It seems that as their trip goes on, he even starts making almost passive-aggressive digs at her through his Instagram posts. Just one example is during the body cam footage from August 12th, it's very, very hot outside that day. Gabby accepts 2 bottled waters from the police.
I found this interesting.
And they offer it to Brian a couple times, and he declines it both times because he doesn't like plastic water bottles. He actually tells them in the body cam footage that he doesn't like them. The next day, on August 13th, that's the last post that he makes during their trip, and I do think that's significant. And what does he post about? He posts about biodegradable packaging. He goes on about the responsible things, that he eats and throws away. And then he specifically talks about plastic water bottles. Another example is you'll notice at the beginning of their relationship, she's wearing an Apple Watch in a lot of her pictures.
I find this
She's
interesting
got coffee
too.
places she likes to go to. She gets her nails done. You can see she has cute clothes. These are all specific things that he also rails against in his post. It just seems, I could give you 5 more examples like this. If you go back and look through all their posts on each of their accounts from the beginning of their relationship. It just seems that all of the things that Gabby likes, Brian seems to pass judgment about, and it seems to just progressively get worse throughout the trip. This brings me to the biggest irony that I noticed from the very day I started following this case. He's anti-Wi-Fi. He's big on not being a slave to social media, put your phone down, enjoy the moment, which are all great things. But it's ironic because the minute they set off, Gabby is starting up a website, a YouTube channel, and she's going to be vlogging their entire journey and everything that they're doing. So it's just from the start, all of the things that he's against is going to be the main goal of hers during their cross-country trip. It's almost like it's just set up for failure. I do believe that this caused a lot of friction between the two of them. And it's obvious from the beginning that he's clear on what she wants to do because he's in the videos with her and they seem very excited about it. So who knows, maybe as the trip went on, he got more and more controlling with it or resentful of it.
This is a very, very good, very good and interesting video. It's just her opinion, of course, and what she has dug up and her views and her take on it. But I found it to be very, very interesting, very insightful. It was very well done. So if you want to go check out the whole thing, the channel is Unmasked, and well, you'll see. It says Brian's Decline on Trip. About 11 minutes or so. Very good, very good. Well, and that's the other thing I found interesting too, was that he's all about this unplug and do this and do that, and but he's posting this on social media. I don't like social media, and I'm posting that I don't like social media and the internet on social media. So if you don't like posts, then why are you posting? But I just found it interesting that she picked up on those little things like the Apple Watch, and all the other thing that he doesn't like, getting the nails done and being all cute. And he seemed like a jealous person, from what we hear from other people or for what I'm hearing. And, so it is interesting. And I am looking at him as not as the dumb guy or the goofy guy that said, oh, I want to do whatever I can to make this go away. I don't want her to get in trouble. And maybe he just left her. No, I think he's more cunning than that. I think he's more devious. And after, again, I do listen to you folks. And I do say that after listening to some of the ladies in here talking over the last couple of streams I've been doing, saying that, it seems like she's one of those abused people that, is just making stuff, not really telling the truth and all this other stuff. Let's see. Has ways of finding stuff out I'm sure I haven't seen. But I know he's looking and I'm not. Yeah, I am. I'm looking. Grins there. I hope no one else is buffering. Clear video, no buffer. Okay. Yeah, I am having, I do have, Charles and a couple other folks. I do have some people that are, what up, Polly Girl, sending me some stuff to look at, and I am looking through some stuff. Well, that's the thing. They haven't really told us for sure whether she was outside, inside, under the ground, or everything else. That's what I hear some. But yeah, it's really not confirmed yet. Again, like I started this whole thing out was, there is an initial report. I'm not too far in, but yeah. There's an initial autopsy that they do just to determine, okay, first of all, we found the body. Who is it? Was it an accident? Was it a homicide? Was it whatever? And they get basic details. Then once they do that, the initial autopsy, then they go from that to the real deal where they look at everything and anything. They'll get the bug experts in to say, okay, well, if there was insect in there, and they'll have somebody that says, okay, over the last couple of days, the body was here from this long to that long. We'll go over it. Okay, the temperatures were this, the humidity was this, and again, not saying that this is what happened, but if it was if say she has bruising, broken bones, and lacerations, well, they'll be able to determine what happened in what order. Was it, how old are the bone breaks? Are they new? Are they fresh? Is there signs of healing? If there is a stab wound, how deep was it? How wide is it? If there's a slashing mark, was it made from someone who was taller, shorter? Was she kneeling? Was she standing? Is it a left-handed person, right-handed person? All that stuff they'll get into in the real autopsy. The initial autopsy that we had their little report from, not even a report, but the indications from, is, again, yes, it's her. It's a female. Blah, 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 blah. It is definitely Gabby. It's a white female, this tall, this age, blonde hair, yada, yada. Because they did release that they did say it is blonde hair, so they could tell the color of the hair, and some other things. But yeah, they didn't release a whole lot yet, because this is just the initial thing to get stuff out there, because everybody wants to know. But now it's all going to be the down and dirty stuff to find out exactly. And again, they're going to take stuff from that area, that scene, to determine, is this a dump site or is this the scene of where everything happened? If this is just a dump site, now we have to look for the scene of where it happened and all that. So they're going to do all that. They'll figure out the timeline with all the stuff from the cameras that people, you know, the YouTubers that filmed the van, other reports that they deem viable and reliable, and then all the evidence that they're collecting. So this isn't going to, just because they got the body and they did the initial autopsy, the real work starts now. So that's why I said that they have bullet while markings with numbers at the site. When I first got on, I did say there is footage of red marks on logs, a couple on a log, on rocks and other things, and some of the numbers. It's like they held up a stencil like 15, and like that, and put a big thing, and then there's a big red spot with a clear 15 in it, and then over beside it is another red mark with 14, and then there's other ones that don't have numbers or just red marks. So they are marking things in the area. And that little stone cross, that memorial, they're not talking about that either. Was that, say it was Brian who did it. Was it Brian after he did it, made the little cross there and then left? Or was it whoever did it, did that? Was it somebody who happened to cross her later and did it? I don't know, but they're not saying where that little cross that they keep, that stone cross that they keep showing. No one's saying anything about that, but there's lots of speculation about that, but we don't know. So that's why I figured while all the stuff is going on, the things that we're not going to know, because let's face it, it's science. And again, not that I am not a lawyer, I'm not a judge, I'm not none of that stuff. But the thing is that I've worked with, not with, but around these folks. And so I know that, for instance, if I go on a recovery call, is what they call it. And I've been on searches too, not a whole lot, but I've been on like 3 or 4 searches. Someone's reported missing in the woods. The one time it was a kid who was a teen, 18, 19, grabbed a rifle from the house and wandered off into the woods up here. And there's a search team, and we were part of the search team. You get your grid and you go out and you go through. So I've been on a couple, so I know how things work. And I've definitely been on recoveries. People that jumped in the river, I was in water rescue. And so I've pulled a couple people out of the river. So I know how it goes. I know the timeline of how long these things take, from the time they're snatched out of the water, put in the bag, and then the ME shows up and carts them off. And as soon as, because, our upper ups, as soon as they find out, because them guys all eat lunch and fucking go to dinner and shit. But anyway, as soon as they find out anything, they kind of let us know, oh, well, we just found out that, that guy we drug out, and they'll tell you all about it, this happened to him, got thumped in the head and thrown off the bridge, or, he jumped or what, but they'll tell you. So I know it's not like, okay, they found a body, we're going to know everything tomorrow. No, it's not going to happen that way. Even though this is a high profile case, especially since it's a high profile case, I'm sure they're going to take their time. They're going to go over everything, and they're not going to release every single detail. I don't think. All right. That's right. They're all here. Everybody. They all come here. All the scientists are here. If you're not one, then I guess you shouldn't be here. I don't know. We're all scientists and lawyers. That is true. They do that. YouTuber that does search and rescue did the cross he shows making it in his video. Yeah, if there ever is one. That's true. I don't know. I really don't know. The thing is that's what I'm kind of saying. While all this stuff that's going to take a while for the experts who do this all the time and know what the hell they're talking about, not just us on YouTube speculating, while they do their job and we can just wait, I want to figure out who this guy is. That's why I've been looking at other stuff saying, you know, like, who is this guy? What's the deal? And that's why I'm playing the little clips I am and showing you what I found and talk about how I think. When the wild animals come into play, yeah, well, everything comes into play, and that's the thing. That's what I said. The initial autopsy is, yep, it's her. Yep, and it was definitely not an accident, or it was, and that's just that basic stuff. And then it's like, okay, do we have, you know, enough evidence from this to go to a crime, to start looking for a suspect, you know, and all this other stuff, and do we go further, or is it, you know, accident, whatever, boom, case closed. So now it goes to the next stage where they go in depth. So yes, they will find out when it happened, how long they were there, and you'll use, again, what animals were in the area, what the bugs were doing, what bugs do, because that's what bugs do, and there's people that know exactly what bugs do and how long it takes them to do what they do. And there's other experts that are going to go, okay, well, it was an average of 65 degrees and it went up to 80 one day, and then the humidity was 90%, and then it was 50%. And they're going to figure all that out and go, okay, with all this, it's going to take this much of the moisture, you know, all the water out of the body. So we're going to be left with this and that. All those folks are going to be doing all that. And the other thing is, where is it going to be done? Since the national park, of course, it's federal ground. So this is the FBI. So it's going to be a federal thing. It's not going to be, you know, Jimmy Blow from up the street, who's, you know, the small town coroner who has seen 2 bodies in his, you know, 20 years of being, you know. No, it's going to be, it's definitely going to be probably somebody in the federal thing. And from what I understand, it could even be, she could even be taken to a local military facility and have all their stuff that they have, because they got all the latest toys, of course. And you know, the military the examiner can assist with all the federal guys and all the little experts that they're going to bring in, again, because they're going to be the weather guy, the bug guy, the this guy, the that guy. Everybody's going to be there to say exactly what happened. Again, was it a left-handed person, a right-handed person? Did it this? Did it that? Is there a bruise? What is that bruise from? Is that a thumb mark and a handprint around the neck? Is it a, you know, what are those fibers? Were her hands duct taped or tied together with a rope? And these fibers are from this rope, and it's only sold in this thing, and all that shit's going to happen, you know? And it's going to take a while, and they're going to do it right and be thorough. So like we've been saying this whole time, when they go into court, they're going to be ready. Whatever they do, whoever they grab, whoever they nab, and however many people, whether it be Brian and his family and whoever else, they're going to be able to say, we want to charge them with this, them with this, them with this, and here's why, boom. Or we are looking at this person, and this is why. And they're going to have all their ducks in a row. So it's going to take time, and they're not going to slip up and they're going to screw around. It takes time. It's not the movie nor TV show. It takes money. Yeah, it does take time. That's right. So again, that's why I figure while we are doing all this. Why was his Florida lawyer going to give a statement from New York? Both of the family lawyers are from New York, and actually the Laundries, they are from New York. The parents moved to, they're both of the lawyers, the Petito family, lawyer is from New York, as well as the Laundrie family lawyer is from New York, and the Laundries are from New York, and actually, well, yeah, there you go. Damn it. When they started their trip, they didn't leave from Florida to go to, Utah, Wyoming, and head to, Washington and Oregon. They left from New York. They left from Long Island. All right. So I'm not going to rehash what we just went through, but that's why I'm kind of focusing now on who is Brian. We know that Gabby, she had some issues. And again, from listening to the ladies on here, I think she was, one of those, but he said he was sorry. He said he'd never do it again and he loves me. I think she was one of them. I really do. That's why I've been playing these clips of what her friend said. And then this unmasked video, the lady unmasked. And, that's why I played the stuff that she was picking out. I found it interesting, especially after listening to some of the ladies on here the last couple times. So we know, again, she is no longer here. She is in the hands of the medical people, the experts, and Brian is still missing or not found or whatever. A person of interest. Is he more than a person of interest? Are they looking for him for another reason now? They're not saying. But anyway, so I figured I'd try to find out who this dude was, since some of you ladies seem to sway me that he's not just a big goofy dodo who, just got the shits of some wacky little girl smacking on him and locked her out of the van and drove off. I think there's more to it. So that's where I'm at right now. And I'm hoping you guys will get on board and kind of not quit, but I get it. But we're not going to know what, where until they're done with the remains that they found. Okay, we'll go back over this again. What did I miss? Wasn't there red flags when he was seen slapping her? The initial report, the body cam footage. She said, I hit him. He said, she hit me. I pushed her by the face. The reports from the 911 call was a girl was hitting a guy. He pushed her by the face and locked the doors, and she climbed in the window. That was the initial report. Then we got the actual 911 call just the other day. Then we got the actual 911 call. And then we heard the guy say he's hitting her. But up until that point, she was hitting me. Yes, I was hitting him. That's all we heard. And the report from the 911 call was the girl was smacking the guy. The guy pushed the girl away, locked her out of the truck, the van. She climbed in the window. So yes, there is a red flag when he's hitting her, but we just found that out later. Damn it, people. All right. Anyway. So we already played the thing the other day of the slow-mo, zoomed in, van door closing, sandals at the back. Just got to figure out where that fits in the true timeline now. Was she already gone? Was she in the van at that time? Was she already gone and he had the van by himself? And then again, we have the thing of when he left, flew back to Florida, him and his dad getting stuff out of a storage unit. He stayed there for a couple days. I can't remember how many. It was like 3 or 4 days. Then flew back. And I think he flew back the day after she checked out of the hotel on the 24th or something like that. I don't know. I should have wrote down a timeline, but it's all craziness, man. So that's kind of weird. Then we just played the video of the girlfriend that she met on Bumble, and they were hanging out, and she said about how he was. Played the unmasked video of that lady, which was very cool. Again, the video is, the channel is Unmasked. The video is Gabby Petito, Brian's Decline on Trip or something like that. Very cool. I suggest you go check that out and watch the entire video. I played the end part where she talks about, you know, what she was seeing him posting and how she saw the decline. Very cool though. Very good video. Then I found this because again, the whole issue with the car and the note. More 2 stories on that. He drove the car there and got out and walked into the woods. They went on Thursday, found a note, and then drove the car back, and we don't know what the note says. Second story is he went in, he took off, went into the woods. They took the car to where he always goes, left it there on Wednesday, came home, said, oh, well, he didn't come home with the car, so went back Thursday, found a note that said whatever, I don't know. We still don't know. And then brought the car back. Somebody else said that they left a note that said, don't hurt yourself, son. But how did they find the note if they left the note? I don't know. So there's this whole note thing and then the whole car. Did he drive it and then they went and picked it up? Because if they went and picked it up and then they reported him missing, and that's where they're there because, oh, look, here's his car. This must be where he went. Or they said this is where he goes because the lawyer, their lawyer, left that thing. I showed that the other day too. That said, lawyer statement, and had a little timeline. They took the car there, dropped it off where he always goes. He didn't bring it home. So they went and picked it back up. And when they went, they found a note. So then in the meantime, they're there and they took everything. They found the hard drive. They still didn't find the phone, which was turned off on the 1st, which is supposed to be the day that he came back, September 1st, which he showed up in the van without her on the 1st. And that's when the phone was shut off. And shortly before that's when all the posts and the text and everything stopped. So, yeah. So now, with the way everybody's being quiet and shuttling this car back and forth, and I still say it was a thing to say, here's a bunch of money and credit cards and food and or whatever. Well, can't use credit cards because that leaves a trail. So, no, I cannot, Justin. So, I think they either, I either think they staged it to be like, oh yeah, look, he was here, or I think it was a thing where he can't use credit cards and all that stuff. So I think they left him a wad of money, some clothes, food, water, shit like that. And he came back, snagged it, and then took off. I don't know. Just a guess. But anyway, with the shady thing that the family's doing, I found something else that I thought was kind of interesting. So here.
Look what I just did. So I tried logging into that Instagram account, the Gabs Petito account, and so I forgot password so that I would get the email. We all know that you cannot sign into a Gmail account. Like, it's impossible to figure out who's behind it. But I was like, 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, blah. I'm like, wow, I wonder when Gabby's birthday is. So I look up Gabby's birthday. She was born in 1999. So it matches Gabby 1999. Look what I did. So I do Gabby1999 at gmail.com and I say forgot password so that it gives me the last 2 digits of the phone number right here. I tried looking up Brian's phone number. His phone number ends in 55. It's not uncommon that when you're on a family plan, it's just the last digit that's different. Okay. That's not uncommon. So I go to truepeoplesearch.com and I try finding out like who he's related to. You know what I'm saying? So I see that his parents' names, Christopher and Roberta, 55. So I'm like, let me look at his parents. Well, would you look at that? His mother's phone number ends in 57. So who do you think is behind the fake Gabby Petito account asking everyone to leave Brian and his family alone? And if you go to that account's followers, the only person they're following is Brian.
Yes, it's funny. There's lots of stuff like that out there, but I just found it quite interesting now. I'll tell you who's stretching. It's the ones that are doing the talk to the dead stuff. That stuff is fucking funny. There's people that are doing people that are doing some wild stuff, and they're doing the whole talking to her. It was a couple days ago. They were talking to her and doing the whole. He hurt me. Gabby, is that you? Yes. What happened to you, Gabby? Are you with us? He hurt me. Did you hear that? Yeah. There's a whole bunch of people doing that shit. So they're funny. They're funny. But there are a lot of sleuths out there that are trying to figure this out. And some of it's fucking funny and just comical bullshit. But some of it, yeah, the spirit box, yeah. And you can even see the guy, he's doing this. Turning buttons and pushing knobs. What happened to you, Gabby? I'm dead. Does he know I'm dead? Oh. Yeah. Did you hear? I was talking to her. I know exactly what happens. See? That's why I'm on here doing this, because I was talking to her and she said, it was Brian. He's not in Florida. His parents helped him. Look out! Yeah, see? Now that shit I thought was funny. Yeah, I looked at that, but he showed the file and everything and showed all the stuff because he was like, I know people are going to think I did this and that and that. And he showed the exact file and all the stuff. And if you look at the original, and if you really, you can look at the original, you can zoom it in yourself. It won't be as clear as what he used. But from what I saw, and when I went back and watched the original after, it's just like anything else. You do things and you see things. And then when somebody says shit, and points stuff out to you, go, oh, wow, I didn't see it. And now you notice it, It's kind of like that thing when if you get a new car, you never see one, and all of a sudden you get that new car. Now everywhere you drive, it's just like when I started watching these RVers. When I was driving around or riding around the car, you just drive around and everything. Now everywhere, I'm like, damn, look at all the RV. I see RVs all the time. It's kind of like one of those things. But anyway, if you go back and look at it after you see that, then you can kind of zoom it in yourself a little bit, and you can see it actually happening with it. And unless you doctor it and then zoom in, but yeah, you can actually go and check it out. She didn't call her granddad Stan. Send the authorities now. Well, there's another one. There's another one I found. That's what I'm getting ready to play next. We got somebody saying that Brian is leaving clues through music, lyrics, and stuff. Now, I'm not saying that this is legit. I'm not saying that it's true and it actually happened or anything like that. But I will say this. There's a group of true crime YouTubers working vigilantly on this case. Focus on topography, timelines, Brian's. Yes, yeah. Yes, yes. And again, I don't, I find it interesting that, I mean, I just look for news stories and I kind of follow news and what's going on. But some of these people, they get into it. I mean, like I said, well, you know, somebody's going to take that video and zoom it in and do all that and look at the back door and all that and find the sandals out there and everything. And the other ones that are going to, you know, take apart these texts, which I didn't think were from her anyway. And analyze them and trying to figure out what it meant, because yeah, I mean, when they said that, oh yeah, Stan. Well, of course, I'm not going to say, you know, if Stan's my grandfather, I don't call him Stan. I call him Grandpa or whatever you call your, you know, Pop or whatever. Now, my significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, they may say, hey, Stan, but I'm not going to say Stan. So if he's the one that had the phone and was texting to throw everybody off, and, you know, he's saying, yo, Stan, you know, I get that if he slipped up, fucked up, instead of saying Pop or whatever. I don't know. But then we got people that do stuff like this. They look into it and they analyze everything. Now, I will say real quick that they are both were you know, they were both into the true crime stories. They read books and shit all the time, and the murder mysteries and all that. So they were all into that stuff. And if you get into that stuff and you're like they say he wasn't into social media that much, and, you know, wanting to be off grid and the internet and Wi-Fi and put the phone down, and he's a book reader, then you know how some of them guys, they get in their head. And if you are someone who is able to be with your significant other, fiance, girlfriend, and you can just basically, if you can just murder them, then why is everybody going, oh, well, a normal person wouldn't do that? Duh. A normal person just wouldn't leave their fiance in a hole in the desert. And it's not, if you look at other people, you know, some of these other murder, no, I'm not saying he's a mass murderer, anybody's a mass murderer on this, but if you look at some of these other guys, charming, charismatic, you know, no, it wouldn't be him. Yeah, they're fucking wacky. You got to be a little off to do something like that. So, is what I'm about to play beyond the realm of possibility? I don't think so. I mean, what else do you got to do? You know, if you're into all this true crime stuff and it gets in your head and you're goofy enough and you're wacky enough to kill somebody and then run off and, you know, not off yourself, but think you're going to get away because you know how to do it, because you've been watching and reading all these things, then, hey, why not be weird enough to do stuff like this? But I just thought I'd share because I found it and thought it was kind of interesting, a little weird, but interesting nonetheless.
Remedy text is this clever text because it doesn't pertain to Gabby's grandfather Stan. He's referencing something else. A song. In a song called Stan by Eminem, a guy named Stan was a fan of Eminem/Slim Shady. In the video, Stan wrote him letters, but he didn't get any back. And he grew more and more obsessed with Eminem. And at this time, Stan's girlfriend was pregnant. And as he grew more and more obsessed, He had pictures all over the room like a shrine. He dyed his hair like him, and he wanted to be like him and said he wanted to be like him. But one night,
they'll also reference the Spotify playlist that they have. So there's all kinds of stuff.
Drunk, and his pregnant girlfriend is in the trunk of the car. He drives off of a bridge into the water and kills her and himself. And according to the Urban Dictionary, stan means a crazed or obsessed fan. And the term comes from the song Stan by Eminem. The term stan is used to describe a fan who goes to great lengths to obsess over a celebrity. Now let's go over some of the words in the song. Stan writes to Slim, or Eminem. In the very first verse he says, "Dear Slim, I wrote you but still ain't calling. I left my cell, my pager, and my home phone at the bottom.
Some of this is just,
sent 2
man, it
letters
doesn't really
back in
pertain.
autumn. You must not have got 'em. There probably was a problem at the
But instead of me skipping around all over the video trying to find shit,
addresses too sloppy when I jot 'em. The
who
second
knows?
Dear Slim, you still ain't called or wrote. I hope you have a chance. I ain't mad. I just think it's effed up you don't answer fans." The next verse is where he doesn't write. This is where he records a message. In it, it says, "Dear Mister, I'm too good to call or write my fans. This will be the last package I ever send your ass. It's been 6 months and still no word. I don't deserve it. I know you got my last 2 letters. I wrote the addresses on them perfect. So this is my cassette I'm sending you. I hope you'll hear it. I'm in the car right now. I'm doing 90 on the freeway. Hey Slim, I drank a 5th of vodka. You dare me to drive. You know the song by Phil Collins, In the Air Tonight, about the guy who could have saved that other guy from drowning but didn't? Then Phil saw it all, then at a show he found him. That's kind of how this is. You could have rescued me from drowning. Now it's too late. I'm on 1,000 downers. Now I'm drowsy. And all I wanted was a lousy letter or a call. I hope you know I ripped all of your pictures off the wall. I love you, Slim. We could have been together. Think about it. You ruined it now. I hope you can't sleep and you dream about it. And when you dream, I hope you can't sleep and you scream about it. I hope your conscience eats at you and you can't breathe without me. See, Slim? Shut up. I'm trying to talk.
Yeah.
Hey, Slim, that's my girlfriend screaming in the trunk. But I didn't slit her throat. I just tied her."
Do you know the best place in your house to potentially save money?
an
Not
ad.
the garage, not the kitchen, but here, the roof.
Tied her up. See, I ain't like you. Because if she suffocates, she'll suffer more and then she'll die too. Well, gotta go. I'm almost at the bridge now. Oh, I forgot. How am I supposed to send this out? Slim writes back, and part of it says, "I hope you get to read this letter. I just hope it reaches you in time. Before you hurt yourself, I think you'll be doing just fine.
See, there's a whole bunch
Maybe
of stuff,
relax a
but
little. I'm glad I inspire you, but Stan, why are you so mad? Trying to understand that I do want you as a fan. I just don't want you to do some crazy. I think this one on the news a couple weeks ago that made me sick.
someone
Some
covered
drunk
it.
drove his car over a bridge and had his girlfriend in the trunk, and she was pregnant with his kid. And in the car they found a tape, but they didn't say who it was to. Come to think about it, his name was, it was you." Back again to the text. "Can you help Stan? I just keep getting his voicemails and missed calls." Stan killed his girlfriend, who can only get missed calls and voicemails. On the 27th, this was written, and on the 30th, as I stated, "No service in Yosemite" was a tagline, not a text. And this text 3 days before wasn't regarding Gabby's grandfather directly. It was another tagline and another tell, a pattern for the texter. Can't get a hold of Gabby, there's no service. And the word Yosemite, which means to kill others. 2 confessions in 3 days, with kill as the common denominator and silence in both. Then I visited Spotify to double check. And on Nomadic Static's Spotify page, I looked at his playlist and also looked at people he's following. And sure enough, I found him. Eminem.
See you, Dorothea.
Coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences. And looking at the timeline again,
No one
Gabby's
puts BB
van
on his
was
shelf.
spotted on the 27th of August between 6 or 6:30 p.m. at the Spread Creek dispersed camping area, which she was later found in, deceased. Other YouTubers point out that at the door of the van, it looked open in the footage, and then it went closed. And Gabby's flip-flops were in front of the door. Not sure if it was Gabby inside of the van or if it was Brian. Now, another person came forward and they said they spotted someone who they believe is Brian. That would be the 26th. And that was a few hours north at Yellowstone West in a bar called Bullwinkle's. It was around 10 p.m., he said, and even closer to midnight, Brian was still there.
We're going to talk about the drinking now.
His name was Brian. He said he was from New York, and he was carrying a backpack. Now, my question is, was Brian drinking, and did he get drunk? I know in the body cam, Gabby said we don't drink, but Gabby's a nutritionist or was a nutritionist before, and she's very conscious of her health, so I get it. But we don't know if Brian just didn't drink while he was with Gabby, or he is drunk before, or he decided to go get drunk. We don't know. For all we know, he might have ordered a lemon water, but I do want to know about that. Now, I'd love to know at what time, the exact time that text was sent, because I now believe that based on this text, Gabby died before it. And Gabby died near the water. Authorities placed a cross made out of stones where she was found. And I'm curious as to what the autopsy will reveal. But
well, we already know all that. But I found that, and I was like, okay. She also talks earlier, I didn't play it, but she talks about his obsession with Fight Club, which was kind of wild. I don't know if I can find it real quick. It was pretty wild. But yeah, she goes on and on about Fight Club and everything else. Let's see where we. Oh, wait. Another alleged possibility was said on Inside Edition that Gabby may have been pregnant because an RV enthusiast possibly spotted sonogram pics on side of trail. Wow. I didn't hear that. She was pretty, but I didn't track any of it. Did any of it make sense? Some of it, a tiny bit did, but a lot of it was just blah, 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 blah to me. The facts, man. Just the facts. That's right. Stick to the facts, man. Just the facts. But yeah, I found it quite interesting. And it was just, it's, you know, I chose some of these things just because, again, it's the stuff you got to weed through to see and try to figure out what's what. And again, could you imagine the tip line, the people that got to sit there and listen to everything? Having predicted this murder, he was treated as a ghost or an alien. What does Polly Girl say? All right, closing the van door doesn't mean anything. That was a bus coming down the dusty road. I shut my... Yeah, I don't... The only thing I can see any significance, it's easy for me to say, significance to that would be, you know, as far as a timeline, what's supposed to be happening and what's not happening. Yeah, I agree. It's no big deal. Was she there? Was she not there? Was this after? Was it just him and she's already gone in a hole somewhere? Because that's where the body was found. And I guess that van is what led them to that area, I guess. And that's where they started searching. So yeah, it's all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, I could agree. If I know if I was camping and somebody was coming down the road and I was parked right next to it, I'd close the fucking door too. Yeah, I don't believe that one either. Let's see. That's right. Let's see. There you go. I just found, again, I find some of this stuff very interesting. Just like the other one, you know, the he heard me. Yeah. Just like that stuff. I'm like, whoa. what does Beanie say? It just goes to show we should never put ourselves in a position of relying on someone else for transportation, etc. Yeah. Fortunately, I have to. My blind ass, I can't drive. Sound like Charlie Brown's teacher, blind mama. Wah, 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 wah. My wife's driving scares the crap out of me. But yeah, my free, cheap, and freaky. My thing was I wanted to get on here and say that, yeah, just because this initial autopsy was done, it's not near over. This is just the beginning. There's a whole big long list of stuff that has to be done. The real, true autopsy is going to go on, and they're gonna go through everything, and there's going to be reports and findings and reporting on the reports and talking about the reports and yeah, I know I'm screwed. I'm going to wind up in a trunk while somebody plays Eminem songs. Let's weave a conspiracy. Yeah. An eye-opener into potential future van dweller couples living together in dirty and 50 square. Yeah, 50 square feet gets old real quick. Wedding is bound to start happening. It could potentially go bad. And that's my other thing. You know, it's like, now I'm not trying to place blame or do anything and victimize the victim or none of that shit, but let's face it. If you're in a relationship with somebody who is controlling, and you want to start a vlog and you want to wear an Apple Watch and get your nails did and your hair did and wear cute little clothes, and he's a jealous asshole who wants to control you and doesn't even like you drinking water out of a plastic bottle because he doesn't like the internet or plastic bottles, then why are you going to get into a tiny little van and drive the fuck across the country with someone like that? You can barely live in a damn house with somebody like that. So why are you going to put yourself in a tin can on wheels where there's no place to go? And then now I don't even, this body cam footage, I don't even believe half the shit that she was saying to the cops. You know, oh yeah, I was doing this. I was doing everything. He's just great. I love him. Oh, he didn't do anything. I did it all. I was me. And I don't believe none of that now. So all this other crap that's, oh yeah, and I don't, yeah, just why would you do that? I mean, she was saying, well, how far is it? Because I don't want to drive. I usually don't drive. Well, is that true? Does she drive? Did she drive at all? Even though it was her van? I just don't know why I would get into a vehicle with somebody like that and drive across the country, be stuck in a tiny little van. It's not even a big van. It's a little van, in my opinion. It'd be bad enough in a big ass fifth wheel where it's bigger than some of the apartments I had when I first moved out on my own. It would be hard enough there, let alone in a tiny little can. I don't believe Ryan is camping out in the wilderness somewhere. He is already where he plans on sitting this whole thing out before his parents let the police know he was gone. Yeah, the time frame between when he took off and when he was reported and everything, yeah, it's all just, I still think it's nothing up my sleeve. Look over there. Well, he runs that way. That's, I think. Van life is cool. Will we do it again for a long time? Probably not. I'm keeping the van for local camping for now. Yeah, I mean, I don't find it, but again, it takes a serious, I have an inch tube, a serious kid. It takes a certain kind of people, a couple, you know? Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, again. He said he was sorry and never do it again, but I love him. You should leave him, but I love him. He said he was sorry. Get out while you can, but he'd never do it again. Yeah, yeah. But yeah. Mans travel together though. You aren't able to handle it and quit doing it before it goes too far. But how many do you see that are actually living in vans, traveling together, living in vans? Now, if you're young, one thing is yeah, you're probably traveling in a van and then you get someplace, you're out hiking and camping and doing whatever. So one can run off outside and say, fuck you, bitch, and whatever. And one can stay in the van. The other one can go out and wander around and kick rocks for a while. But when you're an older couple or whatever, I'm not talking old, like fucking 60, 70, but once you start getting older, and even if you do like somebody, you're not going to be wanting to be confined in a van. You're going to want your space. Even if it's just walking back to the bedroom and you're up front, where there's still separation. Where are you going in a van? Okay, I hate you. And you move 3 inches? No. And again, my wife and I get along just fine because I can come upstairs, she can stay downstairs, or vice versa. We could not live in a van together, I don't believe. And trust me, because we worked together and lived together. When we had the sawmill business, we were together 24/7. There was no even going to work to escape. We were together all the time, and no one went to the hospital or jail, which is an amazing thing. But to be cooped up in a van and traveling, and I don't care what anybody says, traveling is not free or freeing to me. Traveling is stressful. You're on highways and roads that you don't know with people that are locals that are doing 90, whizzing by you. You're trying to turn left, right, when? Where's the thing? There's a fork. Which way do I go? Left, right, go right, left, what? You're doing all that shit. And then, let me find, where's this? Where's that? How we do this? Where are we going? We got to be at the fucking park in 3 hours to check in. And then it says we're 4 hours away. And I don't care what anybody says. Traveling is not freeing and nice and easy. I think it is one of the most stressful fucking things to do. I've not been reading chat, Charles. Don't mean to duplicate your stuff. Later, BB. All right, Sandy. Yeah, I don't know. She just seemed too timid and I don't know. Everything's just weird to me. My wife and I had hobbies on the road. I did non-viewed YouTube videos. She played casino games on her phone. Yeah, see, it just doesn't seem like fun to me. I'm sorry. Yeah, traveling is expensive. Yeah, trying to do 85 in Texas. I mean, come on. If you're just going about your business and you have nowhere to be, that's one thing. You just do whatever. But if it's like oh, well, we're leaving this place and we got to go here and then and this other shit, it's stressful. It's stressful. You're cruising, you're going through new states, or you don't know what's what. You're on all of a sudden you're cruising from, your little 4-lane, 2-lane highway each way. And then all of a sudden you start merging. It says turn left, you turn left and you get on, you merge on. Now you're in one of these giant highways. It's fucking 5-6 lanes each way. Cars are zooming by you. Speed limit 65. Everyone's doing 85. You're trying to figure out, your little things yelling at you, stay left, gonna take a right, and and you're like, where left? And there's fucking traffic and you're trying to get over and people are merging in. Oh yeah, it's so stress free and easy and cheap, and you're stuck in a van. No. And doing that day after day after day. I'm not talking about a weekend vacation or a week vacation. I'm talking every fucking day. No, not in a van. In an RV, maybe. In a van, no. You can't make me. Van dwelling is miles of travel, crappy roads, bad food, bad weather, and offer mere moments of enjoyment along the way. The kids are all sold as BS bill of goods on YouTube. Yeah. I think that's the way it is, right? It's just, you know, it's the greatest life. It's so great. It's freeing. It's cheap. Oh, no, it's expensive. It's only as expensive as you make it. Well, yeah, if you don't eat, you don't drive anywhere. Well, yeah, you can save lots of money if you're not buying food to stuff in your face and you're not spending money on gas to put in a gas tank so you can drive somewhere. It's real cheap. I can sit here in my house and not never leave and not drive anywhere and save lots of money on gas. Later, RV, keeping it rolling. There's Prairie Life. What's up? Yeah, and you know, if I don't go to the grocery store and I don't go anywhere, I can save lots of money on gas and food. I don't have to sit in the van to do that. But yeah, if you're driving around, if you're traveling, you're spending money. You're spending money on at least gas. Even if you're grazing with the cattle and eating grass, you're still putting fuel in the tank. You're still spending money, and it's not cheap. Oh, well, I drove from New York to Wyoming. What? It cost you what? $10? No. Sorry, it didn't. It cost you a shitload of money. No one knows. No one knows. No, that's what I'm saying, man. Even people that get along, that love each other and get along, I don't give them too long in a van. It's cheap unless someone is hogging BLM land and charging $600 a week for a party. Oh, but I didn't want this to turn into bashing the vanners, but you know, most vanners are single. You know, if they are couples, they don't last long. They're fucking buying houses and shit, or they're the fake ones, the ones that go in their perfect little van that's perfectly spotless clean. The girl that has 47 dresses and 15 pairs of shoes. In all the videos, she's wearing something different, but yet they live in a little van and there's nothing out of place. There's not even a fucking drawer open. There's no dishes in the sink. Yeah, those people. Yeah, of course, it's great for them because it's probably fake. But if you're in a van by yourself, that's one thing. But if two people in a van, oh, man. It's just horrible. There's no way I could do it. I'm terrible. Yeah, right. I hear you. Crazy stuff, though. Crazy stuff. I just think that I think he's a bit. I don't know. I think he could be a bit out there as far as, you know, because some people they get to reading them true crime stories and all that stuff, and they get these ideas. Ventilators clean house before filming. Throw all the extra stuff out of frame. Yeah, but still, that one channel from back in the day, years ago. Again, they lived in that tiny little ass van, 2 people, and she had fucking 14 pairs of shoes, 47 dresses, 18 hats, jewelry, 48 fucking different bathing suits. Come on. Where are you fucking putting all that shit? In your condo. That's where you're putting it. You ain't putting it in that van. They were the beautiful people. And there wasn't no room for the beautiful people. Let me take a moment here for you to thank those who need it. Not need it, deserve it. That's the best right there. It was Professor Plum in the library with a rope and a candlestick. That's right. I did read that one too. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that. Yeah. Yes, them, Polly girl. Yeah. He was a hell of a packer. Yeah. There's the Blind Guy Show again. What's up? How you doing? I don't know, man. I would love to know their involvement in all this. I think it's partly that too. I think that the whole Mustang thing is still this whole Mustang thing and the note. Where was the note? Who was the note? Oh, the parents wrote the note. No, he wrote the note. The parents found the note. Okay, whatever. The Mustang. Oh no, he drove it there. They went and picked it up. No. They drove it there, and then they went and picked it back up. I don't see the whole thing. The whole thing is shady to me. But the FBI, they took it. They looked over it. So I'm sure they know what was going on. Gabby's picker was broke. It cost her. Yeah, too bad she couldn't have broken it with him much sooner. Well, there's a couple now. There's more reports, I guess you could say, of the incidences of him taking her phone and locking her out of the van. At least 2 that I've heard of, and there was probably more. So her being all cry and upset and everything about all that, I can understand, because if he did that to her all the time, I could imagine her starting to get a little bit pissy and paranoid about that and just breaking down. And, that could be another thing. He could have just been slowly, over time, just whittling her down, just picking away at her, until she just felt worthless. Yeah, Wonderbus, yep. Yeah, deli lattes, butt floss, clickbait, yep. Overproduced, excellently produced. Yeah. It's just too much of them guys, I don't either. I don't believe any of them. There's too much, he goes missing. All right. Our son's missing. Let's wait 3 days and then we'll let him know that he's gone. Or we'll wait till they knock on the door and serve us a warrant. Oh, by the way, if you're coming in here to look for Brian, he's been gone for 3 days. We think he's down there in the woods. We're going to drop a car off tomorrow. Yeah, the whole thing is, hey, we found a note, or we left a note. See, I still don't know. The whole Mustang and the note thing, I really want to know. Unfortunately, that is true. Crazy Jews. I've watched enough Scooby-Doo. Brian's playing the ghost in the background. Abandoned amusement park. And they rip off the rubber mask. It was Brian's dad all along. Oh, it was the old innkeeper this whole time. Oh man, that's fucked up. That's funny, but it's fucked up, but it's funny. I watched enough Scooby-Doo. Yeah, that was her. Exactly. That was her chance right there. That was her chance to say, that motherfucker, that motherfucker right over there, because that cop was all in. I mean, he was like, hey, I'm going to get you some water. The air conditioner's on. You sit back here, relax, be comfortable. Is it cold enough? I'll turn that bitch up for you. That was her chance going, that motherfucker right over there. Yeah. Locked me out of the van, stole my keys, my phone, was going to leave my ass. Fuck him. He smacked me back there at the Moon Pie place or whatever the fuck was called. It was him. Get his ass. I just scratched myself or something. See what he did right here. Look, that's right. I agree. She should have fucking broke camp then. Parents had control over the punk from day one. Yeah. What you saying, Polygirl? This is what happened to me, BlindViews. Whittled me down. My confidence was beaten down. Yeah. I know. We talked, girl. We talked. I know. I hear you. And that's what I'm saying. I heard you and a couple of the other ladies in here saying stuff, and I was like, you know what? And I actually did. I went back and watched that video. I was like, I see how she's playing it and how she's saying stuff. And that's why after listening to you girls and watching that again, I was like, I know people like that. But he said he was sorry. He'd never do it again. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Charlotte. Beanie says, Brian is somewhere safe. The neighbors say the Laundries are riding bikes and mowing grass as usual. Yeah, I heard that too. Life as usual. Yeah, probably. Let's see. Blind Guy Show says, I'm just wondering why America is enthralled with this case. People go missing like this all the time. Well, I'll tell you my opinion of why. One, because of the RV van dwelling life craze, fad, boom, whatever you want to call it. You know, it went from this little community of people that, you know, were like nomads or wandering gypsies or whatever some people call them, the little hippies in their vans or whatever, to this thing where there's a bazillion people doing it. Everybody wants to do this and that, and everybody's quitting their jobs and hitting the road and buying vans, and the manufacturers can't keep up with the demand. We've had like 3 consecutive years of record high RV sales and all this other shit, and this big boom. At first it was, you know, a handful of RVers on the YouTube. Now there's a bazillion and one on YouTube. So that's one thing. It's a YouTuber van dwelling, yada, yada, yada thing, social media crap. And I think it picked up. What started it, I don't know, but yeah, I think that's what kept it rolling. But you are true. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's people that go missing constantly all the time. But for some reason, it's this van dweller. Because, and again, if you do, and you can, there's probably some in here. Brian guy said poop in the bucket broke Brian's mind. But there's probably some in here, and you know, they're you know, they'll tell you it's great. This is a tight-knit community. We all take care of each other and we look after one another, and it's a big friendly community, and anything that gets done out here, it's not done by us. It's all the locals or these part-timers, and it's not us. We don't fucking litter. We don't do this. We don't park where we're not supposed to. We obey every law. We are the honest to God, true number one put here on earth by the hand of God. We are awesome. It's everybody else. And, you see stuff and all of a sudden, boom, hey, this tight-knit community, someone just got killed. 2 people were missing. Now one winds up dead. You guys saw him. Look, you passed them. Look, there's video of you guys doing it. Why didn't you guys hang out? Aren't you all one big giant community? Hey, how come this is happening? Oh, yeah, you might not throw litter in the desert, but look, you're throwing bodies in the desert. I don't know, man. But this is what I think, that's what brings us all around together, is just this big giant phenomenon that's taken off. Not just the van life thing or the YouTube. It's just the combination of both. It's that she wanted to start this YouTube channel. They got, and the Instagram stuff and wanted to vlog and everything. And this van life phenomenon, it's exploding. This nomadic life. Quit your job, sell your house, move into a vehicle, and live the free, cheap, and easy life. We'll worry about it later. And it goes awry. Plugger said, yeah, I saw myself in that situation. It made me cry. Mine never apologized, though. I had the chance to leave earlier and kick myself every day for not taking it. But you finally did. You finally did. And we all know that, well, we all don't know, but I know that your situation was kind of weird too, because not a whole lot of people would have believed you. I don't believe. I'm in the hospital getting a CT scan. Been getting headaches since I fell 2 Saturdays ago. My right eye is all red. Well, that's not good. That would do it. But on SNL was a bad thing to live down by the river in a van. That's right. Is it possible, Beanie says, Brian had already took off to hide by the time his parents found out he had come home without Gabby? I don't know. I don't think, just because of the trip. I think the trip home earlier has something to do with all this too. Hey, there's Marilyn. I get up and drink my coffee, watch some YouTubes, do some research, and then set up some clips and get all ready, and then I just go. I try to get on here with some stuff. I'm not one, well, you guys know, anybody that watches me knows I'm not one just to get on here and blah, 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 I try to get things ready and in line, and, I try to be prepared. You can't be prepared for everything, especially when you're talking with people, because you don't know what they're going to say. But I try to be prepared with some stuff and have some stuff all, geared up and ready to go. But, what was that? Dave 2D is safe. If he ever did anything, the cops could find him in his parents' driveway. Free, cheap, and sleazy. That is a good question. I wondered that too. Where did he get the money to finance his trip home? And it was reported that he did offer those people $200 for a ride. I did hear that. We went to the apple orchard. Maybe you've been there when you were here. Actually, now that you said that, I remember, I don't know if we tested in a parking lot or something. I remember an apple orchard because I remember the people going around. I don't know. I might have been close by there. But yeah, I wondered, I often wondered the whole thing, what they did. For money when they were on the road, both of them, when they were still together before she went missing and all that. I wondered how they were getting money, because I remember they were talking about when she was in the hotel, or they were in the hotel, whatever. But I remember them talking about Gabby's stepdad or whatever he is sent them, Uber Eats or whatever. So they were, they were getting money from somewhere and getting stuff ordered for them and all that crap. So I don't know. Were they, just giving money, or I don't know. I honestly don't think I could live in a van with my wife for an extended period of time. No, I couldn't either. I really couldn't. I mean, we could probably do it for instance, if we decided, if we had a van, which we don't, but to get in a van and go from here down to Texas and hang out for the Lollapalooza and come back, yeah, we could do that. But to go from here to Oregon and hang out and then come home, no. Yeah, I think somebody would probably be, I think it might be the same scenario. Two people went on a trip and only one came back. I don't know which one it would be, but I think it would probably be the same scenario. Only a couple miles away. It might have, I have a vague memory of, because very rarely do we actually test at the firehouse. They usually find us, they usually found us, not now, but they usually found us a parking lot somewhere away, a church or whatever, they usually found us a big enough area to lay out, a couple 100 feet of hose and then plus our stuff, and then have, rigs all over the place. So they usually found us a nice place, big enough. Cause I remember we used to shuttle the rig, we always had somebody with us that drove. So we would drive, would drive them in our pickup truck to the station, and then they'd bring a rig down and would empty all the stuff out. And then when we were done packing it, we would take it back and would even put them in and out of service and all that stuff. So we didn't usually do it at the firehouse unless it was a really big place and they had enough room. But I do vaguely remember being somewhere, and I remember the apple orchard. Willie Garson, who's that? I'm drawing a blank. Look how I figured it out. His mom and dad and the mom. She knew too much to escape and explain flying back to Colorado. Well, yeah, I'm glad you're getting that CAT scan or whatever you're getting. Yeah, go get it checked out. Great character actor. Oh, okay. You and me both, Beanie. If I can't stand up, I'm not being in it very long. Put up the tent for what? Yeah. Oh, you can stand up here. That's cool. Damn it. How long did it take to blow up a fire hose? Some it didn't take very long. Other ones we never blew up. But that's what we were there for. It's an annual thing. If you want to look it up, you can look up NFPA standards. And it is the NFPA 1969 is the number of the thing. We tested to the NFPA 1969 standard. And that's not a year, that's the number. But yeah, it's an annual test. You go do it so it fails during the test if it's going to fail, not when you need it, when someone's ass is on the line in a burning building. Tested ladders also. I went to a 2-day seminar in South Carolina. One of the Carolinas, North or South Carolina, I can't remember. But yeah, I went to a two-day class, not seminar, but class on how to test ladders. I got all kinds of certificates and shit for all that crap that I did. All right, what we got here? Healing journey. Do you think that his hitchhiking was his way of forming an alibi? He supposedly told these people who picked him up that he had been hiking while Gabby was in the rig working on the channel. I do think that. I do think that. Yeah, I heard that as well, Nick. But yeah, I think that his little obsession. That's right. I think his little obsession with the true crime stories and the murder mysteries and all that, I think that it got stuff in his mind like, oh, I can do this. And I think he was doing stuff. At first I thought he was just some big goofball, but now I think he is a little clever little dude who's trying to get away with stuff. And I think that, yes, I think that the hitchhiking or the story of hitchhiking is one of his little things to leave things. And just like, showing up on the, at without her, with her van, September 1st, and doing whatever, and then disappearing. And then again, his parents say, what? Oh yeah, days ago he went missing, but we're just letting you know now. That and the Mustang thing, dropping it there and picking it up and all. I think all this stuff is like, well, yeah, he always goes over there. So we're going to take the car so he can drive back. Meanwhile, he ain't over there. He's somewhere else, going in a different direction or whatever. That's just my theory. But I think not all the stuff, but I do think that there's things that he is doing that is just out of his little murder mystery stories, his true crime stories. And he's doing, well, I knew all this and I can lay the little traps and I can do the misdirections and I can cover my track. I think that's kind of what's going on. And I think that's why I haven't found him yet. I could be wrong. He could be gator meat. I don't know, but that's what I think. I think he's trying to get over, and I think he's out there trying to get to Mexico is my guess. I don't know. But again, it's just an armchair quarterbacking it. No, that's not. No, the preliminary autopsy was just the confirmation, and was it accident, homicide, blah, 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 blah. All the other stuff will come later on the real thing. Now it's like, yep, we need to do this now because it is definitely foul play, is definitely homicide, and it is definitely her. So now you guys take it. You have Gabby, who was killed. She didn't fall down. It wasn't an accident. So now it goes off, and then that's when the next step, the next part of the autopsy goes, and that's when we'll find out time of death, the exact cause of death, and we'll get a real true timeline and all that good stuff. Yes. Do you think his parents knew he killed her before he showed back up in Florida? I'm going to say no. I don't think so. But then again, you never know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I really don't think so. I don't think he did. I think he kind of showed up and was like, this is what happened, or yo, because it was like right away, boom, lawyer, shut up, don't say shit. Ain't nobody saying nothing. Now he's missing. Well, he's just a person of interest. This is a missing persons case. This is not, we're not looking for him to arrest him because there's no crime and blah, 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 blah. So yeah, all crazy. I think he played closed up in that little van, Brian. He just slid off his cracker. And the rest is history. It could be just that simple, couldn't it? Maybe. I didn't want to go far as saying that, you know, but you know, Weather Bear, I think he is. I think he could be one of those guys that just got to that point where I wonder if I could get away with it, you know? If his parents are worried about him, they sure aren't shy. Yeah, I know, right? Mexico from Florida is a wrong way trip. I know, right? But yeah, you know, Gabby's parents, as soon as they found out that, you know, she was missing and all that, they were fucking, you know, they weren't like, hey, yeah, our daughter's missing. If you want me, I'll be out mowing the lawn. Honey, go fire up the grill. No, it wasn't like that. These guys are like, hey, our son's missing, by the way. We're going to go drop off a car and maybe he'll bring it back. Oh, no, he didn't show up. Let's go get the car, hon. Is Brian still missing? Yeah. Grass is getting high. Yeah, I don't think they're too worried about him. It doesn't seem that way, does it? If the parents admit they knew anything and helped him leave, it would be obstruction. Yeah, I don't know how all that works, to tell you the truth. Ness thinks he told his parents something. He might have. I don't know. That's a good question, though. I think people ought to hope he's dead. This will be a very difficult criminal case to prosecute. Oh, you think? I don't know, man. Again, I don't know that much about it. I know a little bit, enough to be dangerous and make stupid assumptions, but I don't know truthfully, you know. I'm just like most people, or I was early on until I talked to some folks. But I was just like most people, like, why aren't they doing this? And why isn't he charged? And no, he's a person of interest. They're not looking because there's no crime and they're not charging him with, yeah, you know, until someone explains all that to me, I don't know. I know just enough to be dangerously stupid and make dumb assumptions, but that's what we're all here. We're all here just kind of interested in this and just rattling off, getting things off our minds and sharing ideas and little theories and asking what if questions and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's not, if somebody knows what, I mean, I know, you know, like Linda Lady Redskin, she knows all the forensic stuff because she did that forever. And, you know, if there's actual lawyers that pop in and tell us, no, you dumbass, that's not how it works. Or, you know, I don't mind that. It's just, but we're just in here kind of like jawing, speculating stuff. Again, I know a little bit how things work, but as far as what they can be charged with and why they aren't yet and all that, I don't know the specifics and how all that stuff works. And I don't know that if it would be better for, like I said, be better because it'd be a difficult, I don't know that. I wouldn't know if it would be easy or not. I have no idea about all that. I can just assume, and I know that whatever they're doing, they're probably following the following everything by the book so they don't screw it up if they do go to court, if he isn't found deceased. No, Nomadic Weather Bear, that's all part of the second part of the autopsy as well. All that the first one does is, yes, it is her, and it was foul play, it was homicide. The second part will be when, how, with what, where, yada, yada, yada. You know, she was most likely on her knees, and the guy was this time, this downward motion, and it was this, and then, you know, and if you see it came this way, and over there was the blood, and this, and then all that's going to go on now. The first little bit that we found out, the autopsy report was, it's Gabby, it's homicide. That's all we're going to find out. All the other stuff's coming later. Did you guys look at all the stuff he wrote on his Instagram pages? I believe he wrote something to the effect, she'll never find another guy like me. No, I didn't really look at his Instagram pages too much. I was watching some channels and talking about these folks that get into things more in depth than I do and listening to what they had to say. You know how these always work out. The guilty husband always appears on TV pleading to find the person. That's right. Yes. OJ's still looking for the real murderer. Speaking of OJ. Let's see. Okay. Missing white girl syndrome. Yeah, we were just talking about that, Marilyn. It's just like, yeah. Where's Brian? He's still missing? Yeah, they're still looking for him, but grass is getting kind of high, so I'll be out here mowing. Let's see, just speculating more, but is it possible a member of his family actually brought the rig back from Wyoming and he took off way back then? I mean, did anyone actually see him at his parents'? Hey, that's a good question. For all we know, and again, since we're reaching and speculating, for all we know, when he came back, when he flew back to Florida and helped his dad move stuff out of the storage unit and then flew back, maybe he wasn't alone. Maybe there was 2 tickets, or maybe he flew back and somebody found him on another plane or whatever, and they met up, and yeah. Maybe he took off from there and they drove the van back. Who knows? He could have never even been in Florida. Actually, the first day I did this live stream stuff, somebody came in and said, we're like, he showed up in Florida on September 1st, and somebody actually said, well, did he? Is there proof? Is there any videos or pictures? Did he show up? And they're like, good question. No, there really isn't. It's just what they say. So did he show up in Florida on September 1st? That is a good question. I mean, who knows? Who the hell knows? Prospector Rob, I think he's on the run in the woods, thinking he has more outdoor survival skills than he actually does. I feel he'll surface sooner than later. You just never know. Hey, how are one of them people that talk to the dead people for the next show? You can't find one. But I was already talking about that. We were talking. We were talking about that because I have the thing. That guy was on there. Are you here? Are you here with us? I just want to help you and pray for you. Are you here? Is there anything you want to say? He hurt me. Did you hear that? Did you hear? I'm talking to her right now. I'm talking. Where are you? He's not dead. Yeah, I was watching one of them. That shit was funny, and you could see him turning knobs and shit. Yeah, that shit was crazy. I guess Laundrie's family's reaction is what is more puzzling than anything. Yeah, it is kind of weird, isn't it? That your son's missing, and now she's confirmed dead, found, and all the other good shit. She's not missing anymore. And you're just, what's for dinner? You know? I saw a couple things where people had camera images of him walking down the road and doing this and doing that. Now the bush cam in the woods, it did kind of look like him. And actually, I didn't pull up the video, but it was the guy. They took his picture and superimposed it and brought it up over top of the face of the one. Everything almost lined up perfectly. The eyebrows did, the ear was off a little bit, but the face and everything. So, but that one, it kind of really did look like him, the backpack and everything. There was another one of a guy walking down a road beside a tree line, and they were saying it was him, but it obviously, I'm a fucking blind guy. I can barely see, and I could clearly see that it was not him. So yeah, there's a lot of people that are saying stuff. Again, there's so much crap to rifle through. I don't get on Facebook, so I don't. Yeah, nothing. I don't look at nothing on Facebook. I think Facebook is horseshit to me. I just don't get on it. There's too much crap. Yeah, I hear you. All your eyes. Yeah, it always works out that way. That's for the best. It's the best for the case. You can't tell everything. You can't give all your you can't lay all your cards on the table. You give enough to appease the media and let all these internet sleuths have something to dig up and give us enough to yak about. But yeah, they don't give everything out. That's for sure. Yeah, they show up right after the body's found, and they told the lawyer who was scheduled to make the announcement, make some news conference. FBI got a hold of him and said, "Yeah, you can go ahead and cancel that." Yeah, so yeah, they know a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that they know. You know, like how they went, how they found her, what they're doing, what they think, why they're still looking in that one spot. I mean, and if they didn't think something, they wouldn't. I don't think, I may be wrong, but I don't think they would, unless they're doing it as a smoke and mirrors while they do other shit too. I don't think they would commit that many resources to looking in the same damn place. Is he back there? Looking in the same damn place for this guy. That's true there, Rob. Rob says everyone's thinking he's dead. That's exactly what a guy on the run would want people to think. Ain't that the truth? Dirty laundry. That's right. I actually was. They didn't call me because it was a juvenile thing. Me and two other people showed up at court to talk about a kid got shot down the street. And I saw the guy with a gun here in front of my house, right out in front of my house, pulled out the gun. And, yo, man, you soft. And the other guy, well, yo, what you doing? And I saw that. And then they kind of marched down around us and they went around the corner. And then next thing you know, pap, pap, pap. And the kid got shot. So anyway, I was in court and I was like, when the cops came to me and they're like, we heard that you saw this and that and everything. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a blind guy. So as an eyewitness, I'm not real good. They're like, what do you mean you're blind? And I explained it. I was like, I only got that much and da-da-da-da. And they're like, hey, fuck it. You saw what you saw, right? But yeah. He wouldn't. I don't think he will. I think if he is, Lions Crew said OJ did it. I think if he winds up dead, I think somebody found him and offed him, or a gator or whatever, some wildlife got him, or he fell off a cliff or something, or drowned or something. I don't think he's going to off himself. I really don't. I could see him being one of them death by cop dudes, running until he can't run no more. And if he gets found, just come running out and, doing something. So they off him so he doesn't off himself or go to jail. Just my opinion so far of what I'm gathering. But then again, my mind could change tomorrow because I thought one way a couple days ago. And then again, after listening to you guys and talking with all you guys in here and listening to some of the ladies, I kind of went back and re-looked at some other things with a different set of eyes, if you will. And I have a different opinion of him now. So I don't know. I might have a different one in a day or two. Who knows? And think about it. If they call him a murderer, then if he was on the run, it would prompt him to really hide out. Exactly. And that's why I think he's just a person of interest, and we are searching for him because this is a missing persons case. They keep they just put that stamp on it. They just keep saying that over and over again, confirming that point. Yeah, it's hard to be a narcissist with no one to control. You are right. It was the butler. No matter what a bear says, Lions Crew. It was the butler. We've already established it was Professor Plum in the library with a candlestick. Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something? If you were the girl with the van, hey, Mom, I got a new boyfriend. Hey, I saw him on the news yesterday. Hope you don't wind up missing. Have a good trip, dear. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? Yeah. There you go. I think that, if he's like into all that true crime, murder, mystery stuff, he could be getting the ideas that I can get away with that. Look, these guys got caught because of this. These guys got away with it. Now, see, all you got to do, I think he is one of them. And again, if this is your fiance and you love her and you can just whack her, not even a stranger, not like a, like a prostitute or somebody you saw in a dark alley. No, this is somebody, if you can just thump them and throw them in a hole somewhere, then come on. If I guess allegedly, if he is actually the one who did it, which, come on. Oh, really? Yeah, that shit happens, man. Yeah, the Everglades is a pretty nasty place. That's right. He still is that. Hey, maybe that's what was in the Mustang when the parents dropped it off. Maybe it was a dress, some high heels, and a wig. I don't know, and a fancy hat. Who knows? Yeah, his backpack is tiny. He ain't holding a lot of shit, is he? I don't think there's a whole lot that's going to distract people from that. And some people maybe, but yeah, I'm kind of following both. But yeah, there's not a whole lot. Yeah, they say there's a whole shitload of people in Colombia heading this way. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's got some ideas. Probably not. Probably not there, Edward. Freedom moment. Okay, he's not in courtside. Everyone look out here one day. Do you take calls on this show? I could. Maybe I will. Oh, what is today? Today's Wednesday, isn't it? Yeah. Maybe I'll do that later in the week. If this thing. Yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'm not going to do that because I've been on here for over 2 hours already. And if we start taking calls and really discussing this, I'll be on here all day. But that's a good idea. Maybe next time I will do that. We'll talk about stuff and we'll let people call in and voice their opinions instead of typing everything. I guess that would be easier, huh? That's a good idea. Let's see. Change my theory. OJ and Karen. It's hard to be like that. No witnesses in a police recording showing she injured him previously. Could have gone with a self-defense. You're a crazy thing. Who knows? That's it. Blend in with the crowd, right? Is that intentional? No. This is just the way I look. I used to have, I still got long. I used to have long hair everywhere. I had really, really long hair. Now I'm getting old and it's getting thin. You can see on top. It's a little bit crunchy now to keep it where it is. But yeah, it's just me. I'm just a weirdo. Yeah, they are. That's right. I heard him. I seen a little clip of him walking by, and somebody was yelling out, "So what are you going to do about the border crisis?" "We're going to handle it." He's like, "Why didn't you start handling it a long time ago when you took office and gave old Kamala Harris, here, you handle this. We're going to do other shit. I'm going to work on this infrastructure thing. You go handle the fucking border." How long ago was that? Ain't nothing happened. I thought I saw him, but it was just a meth head looking for shiny rocks. Butterbean. I have my opinions and they're all wrong. That's all right. All mine are wrong too, but hey, if we all share all our wrong ones, then we won't feel so dumb when it comes out that we are all wrong. Yeah. They did have a lot of time, didn't they? Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. Yeah, I think the swamp was a distraction myself too. Again, nothing up my sleeve. Look over here. Poof, while he goes that way. Yep. Yeah, I cut all the good stuff off. This was nice and long and thick. It was getting thin on the top, so I kept it. Whatever. Yeah, I put a little bit of crap in it to keep it in place so it doesn't flop down. I'm just weird. Yeah, I play video. I was playing some earlier. I usually get them all queued up before I start, and then I play them. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows where she's at? The CT's good. Your brain's still in there. They still see it in there. It didn't fall out. I'm just picking, not making funny, honest. The Spanish Inquisition. Yeah, why would they? Yeah, the main things I'm interested in now. Brian's already in Mexico. Well, thanks for giving me the scoop. That's right, you heard it here first on the BlindViews channel. The two things I want, all right, Brian, two things I want to know is this. I want to know, one, what was the deal with the flight back and the to the storage shed shit? What was up with that? And the other thing is what was up? What's up with the Mustang? Who drove it where and why? And was it the delivery vehicle, or was it just a play to say, hey, look, another looky over here? Wow, you weren't even there. They're the two things that I want to know right off the bat. Nah, he's not doing anything weird yet. Just silly. I don't mind silliness. Millie May uncovers. Is that the channel name? Also, Millie May. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with. Blind guy trying to type. Nothing's popping up nothing's popping up in the autofill yet. Damn it. Uh, yeah, I'm not fine. I can't find it. Nothing's not there. It's just my blind ass. A channel will pop up. Typing in that, it's not coming up. It's just a whole bunch of Gabby stuff. He can't go anywhere but Mexico and south. He cannot fly anywhere on a commercial airplane. He Canada still doesn't do border crossings as far as I know. Yeah, like I said, it's Speak Life Garden Homestead.
First of all, Gabby Petito is only 22 years old, and she's already engaged to this guy, Brian Laundrie. He is 23. She has recently quit her job, which is kind of strange because it was going fine. And the two of them decided that they were going to go on a cross-country road trip together. A few months back, he posted this on his Instagram story. Look at the book. This is another picture he posted on his Instagram feed. It is still public. Same book, different cover. And here he made a bunch of drawings in reference to this book. Here's another cover of the book. Okay, so this guy Brian seems to be a really huge fan of the book. I'm gonna explain what it's about and why I think that this might be relevant. Okay, after looking up and purchasing the book, for a quick summary, basically it's about this group of people that go on a road trip across the country, and they're trying to find this book that basically is like the Death Note kind of thing, where if you read the rhyme that's contained in the book, People Will Die. Two of the characters on this trip are named Mona and her boyfriend, Oyster. I think Brian Laundrie was trying to replicate this story in some way, and I think that he might have believed he was Oyster. Hear me out.
Uh-oh.
Oyster is described as a nihilistic environmentalist. Keep this in mind. Also, at one point, you can see it says way at the bottom that at one point in the book, the group abandons Oyster on the side of the highway. Okay, this is important. I downloaded the book, and it says in the description of Oyster that his face and hands are smeared with blood, the devil's face, and he has a red goatee, okay, because it's covered in blood. Brian also has a goatee. This could have been intentional, this could just be a coincidence. Here's a more clear image. I think that's a goatee. I literally read the entire book in one night, and some other things about Oyster is that he doesn't wear shoes. This is another important thing to keep in mind. He is noted to have calluses on the bottom of his feet that are cracked and dirty. Okay, he has dirty feet, he doesn't wear shoes. Also, on this road trip, they drive through Colorado, Kansas, and Missouri, all states that Brian and Gabby drove through on their road trip. Okay, also, there are mentions of domestic disturbance calls to the police in the book. Might just be another coincidence. Watch part 2. This is all gonna make sense really soon. Okay, something is very fishy about this Gabby Petito. The Oyster character in the book does not wear shoes. He has dirty feet. He refuses to eat out of plastic containers, and he doesn't eat meat. He preaches about veganism. He goes on these rants about how people don't deserve to be on the earth, and how he would be willing to off himself and his girlfriend if it meant bringing about a better place for, like, the environment, if that makes any sense, okay? Here is the passage in which he gets locked out of the car, because he assaults someone. Strange. And here's where he says, these are like his final words as he's getting locked out. He says, "You can forget me, but that doesn't mean I don't still exist. For whatever reason, the first gypsy moth that flew out a window in Medford, Massachusetts comes to mind. Keep in mind this moth." Basically, because of the way that the book is written, the characters are able to pass in and out of each other's bodies. So at the end of the book, Mona and Oyster, the boyfriend and girlfriend who went on this cross-country road trip together, both end up missing. Neither of them are killed. They are both missing, and that's how the book ends. This is literally the last page of the book, or second to last page, and it says, "To find Mona and Oyster, you only have to look for the fantastic miracles, the amazing tabloid headlines." There are headlines about Gabby and Brian right now in the tabloids. The young couple seen crossing Lake Michigan on foot in July. Their trip took place between June and August, which includes July. Very strange, okay? Now I'm going to try and make some connections. Here's Brian's Instagram. They're all about nature and using different wording than he previously did. Here he says, "Beautiful park with an unfortunate infestation of human beings." This is very similar to something Oyster would have said in Lullaby. This entire caption is about...
There's a lot of stuff like this on the interwebs. I played one earlier about, the Eminem song, there's stuff. But I mean, there's people, like I said, there's folks that they get into this. They get into it hardcore. I mean, they analyze everything. But, I mean, people come in here and not too often, but, over the last couple, they come in and fucking armchair quarterback. Everybody's a damn speculator. Blah, 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 blah. But, we're not going nuts. We're just kind of taking it, what we see on the news. Yeah, I don't think it was lagging. I'm not sure. I don't know. Everything's good on my end that I know. But, oh, you had to reload. But yeah, I mean, some of these people, we're just talking, yakking, you know, you find this on the news and you see this, and, you know, I'm pulling up this stuff from the internet. We're just talking about it. But some of these folks take everything, you know, and, I mean, hey, more power to them. Like taking the Stan text and actually, I would have never thought of Stan and you know, putting it to the Eminem song and all that other shit. And just like this stuff. Oh, some people were buffering. I was going to say, it says everything's green here. Doesn't say I'm having issues. Double check over here. It says excellent condition. Everything looks good. I don't know. But yeah, some folks what was buffering. But yeah, some folks just they go into it, man. Oh, I know what you're saying, but yeah, I it's just some people get into it hard. I'm like, damn, I would have never thought of fucking, you know, Stan. Well, you wouldn't call your grandfather Stan, you call him grandfather. She never did that. So Stan, it goes to this and this, and linked it all to this song, and this chick is linking it to a book. And I mean, hey, if you got that kind of time and you got that stuff to do the research and figure out what's what and link it to stuff, hey, why not? You know? But I do think that if people get into this, just like these people are getting into all this stuff, you know, if these folks are getting into all this, you know, then and they think that they're onto something, and they might be, I don't know, who knows? I'm not dismissing it, but just imagine if somebody that's, again, has the ability to kill their fiance and then roll home and, hey mom, I did something bad, I'm out of here. That's into all these murder mystery books and true crime stories. It's not above the realm of possibility that he could be doing some twisted shit like this that these people are finding, like saying, hey, let me drop some clues, and because I'm smarter than these people. Who's to say that he's not trying to do something stupid and crazy like that? I don't know. Oops, sorry, I wanted to read this. Thank you for taking a look at the video, but yeah, it buffered out and I lost a couple of minutes. Oh, really? Sorry. Back now. Yeah, you know? Exactly. Hey, mom, he's shit crazy. That's right. Yeah. Wish I had all that time to make shit up. I mean, do all that tireless research. It is a lot of work, man. But to even know where to look, you know what I mean? You know, to even know, to reference that book or be able to reference that song, to even know that is beyond me. I mean, I probably couldn't even relate it to a metal song that I know all the words to. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't think of that. That's a very good point. That is a very good, that is a very good point. I will agree with you 100%. That is, hey, at least they're exercising their mind, even if it is a little out there. Hey, and they ain't hurting nobody. It came back good, she said. It is all about the views. That's right. Let's see. Remember, we are getting all our info from the news. The news is expert at clickbait. That's true. Geraldo found Bigfoot JFK. Yeah, remember when Geraldo, the big opening of the vault live, and there was nothing there. Yeah, there you go, Beanie. Everything came out good. Let's see. Did you notice Brian's business card? No, I did not. It's a melting ice cream bar with a bite out of it. And the stick bar is actually a knife handle with the person about to bite into the knife. No, I did not see that. That's okay. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. What are you going to say? I can't be for everybody, and I don't try to be. Beanie. Yeah, wasn't that sad? Hey, Road Warrior Rick, Triple R, what up? Yeah, if I had a missing family member out there with no attention on my case, I'd just put Gabby in all my faves and get their face out there. But yeah, I mean, my thought is this. I find the whole thing interesting, fascinating, bizarre, ever-changing. I got questions. I know I'll probably never get them answered. But, I don't know. There's a little bit of solace, I guess you could say. But coming in here and have people chat with you and talk about different stuff and throw opinions. Some conjecture, some conspiracies or whatever it is, just to talk about. And yeah, we all know that the news, even though it is, I don't know what you say, the thing we all used to go to get our information. But, you take what they get because they're trying to beat the other 10 million news sources out there. And, it's just, I don't know. And then I started sifting through the YouTubers. Some of it was silly. Some of it I pulled up here and played because I found it to be silly and odd. Some of it I found to be interesting, and I thought it was a good opinion. I think it was the Unmasked. I found her analysis, her little take on it. I found it to be very interesting. So yeah, I just take what I see and what I hear and try to rifle through the bullshit, try to get what little bit of information I do know goes on, and some of the stuff I know way little, but just trying to find something out here. All right. More about Brian's family than anything. My old age. I'm old. Yeah, Butterbean, that's it. We all got questions. We're all waiting patiently, and what's the harm in yabbering and gabbing and throwing out our silly, nonsensical ideals. Again, like I said the other day, it's not like we're out here, forming a mob and we're not getting bus loads of people to go to his, the laundry house and stand out in front and scream and holler and throw rocks and demand justice. And we're not getting on Twitter and, demanding all kinds of shit and sending out, somebody's address and telling people to go firebomb or, we're not doing all that. We're just sitting here just having little conversations and trying to figure shit out. We're not going to save the world. We're not going to bring anyone to justice. We're not going to change anyone's opinion in anything. But hey, we're just sharing ideas with a bunch of other people that have ideas. And again, when it all turns out that we are all wrong, we won't feel so silly when there's a whole bunch of us. And I definitely live by I trust no one, believe no one until the facts are there, and you can actually see it. What's this? Oh, shit. We're not, okay, gotta go change some posts. All right. I hope the Laundrie parents love all the internet sleuths digging up oddities and possible evidence. I know, right? I know, Beanie, right? Out of all this mess and all this jibber jabber, somebody's got to be close, right? At least one person. As a collective, we got to be at least, 70% right on something? Not going to save the world. Speak for yourself. I'm busy every day knocking down leftists. Are you going to go finish the wall, Pamela? Do you think they were changed their name? I don't know. I mean, it was just like that one video I played, the TikTok girl, I guess it was, that went through and found the phone number and linked it to the parents and said that the parents are the ones responsible for the phony Gabby page and all that stuff. There's only one, they follow only one person, and it's, Brian. It's just all that stuff. Some of it's funny, some of it's so far-fetched, and some of it's like, I wonder if, maybe, is there a possibility? And to tell you the truth, I watched that shit on Netflix. Don't Fuck with Cats. Is that what it's called? And let me tell you, after I watched that show, and I know a lot of people, they hated it. They thought it was so disgusting, and they didn't get past, sorry about that. They didn't get past the first 5 minutes because they didn't let themselves go. But I watched that, and after I watched that show, I was like, okay, all right, I'm not going to blow these people off. I'm not going to call them. It is, wasn't it? Yes. Because those people, I mean, they got on the internet, and that's right, don't forget, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, you have fun. But those people dug up some clues and were calling the cops and saying, hey, we found this and we found that. They were searching through the internet, and they were zooming in and doing this, and I mean, they went to it, man. They had their little Facebook group where they were talking about all this stuff, and I mean, they were doing it, man. They were super sleuths, and they found out some very, very interesting shit. And they led the cops to a lot of stuff. So, yeah, some of these folks that, you think, oh, man, these are fucking people. They got way too much time on their hands, and they do. But to find all this crap, I sure as shit wouldn't sit here with that video, of them driving down the road and seeing the white van. Once it was posted, I was like, hey, look, they saw the van. I wouldn't have sat here and went frame by frame through that shit, zooming in, looking at the van and looking in the windows and looking for fucking sandals in the rocks and all. There's no way I would have done that shit. You know? Somebody's doing it. And yeah, some of it might be far-fetched and some of it might be like way out of line. And like, how in the fuck did they come up with that? But hey, if they're going to sit down and take the time and find this out, and take guesses and break codes and get into somebody's fucking Instagram and find a phone number and do it. Hey, more power to them, you know? If you're going to link something to some song or some book, who knows? We might be watching a fucking movie 2 years from now and Brian Laundrie read this book and kept it under his pillow and everything he did was all because of this book. And we'd be like, we were talking about that 2 years ago. That crazy lady. You know, you never know. You just never know. So it doesn't hurt to look. It doesn't hurt to look and see. I'm not the one sitting here doing it. So, so hey, I'll let everybody else do the footwork and I'll look at it and go, okay, that's interesting. But shit. Oh my. What a day. What a day. You know what? That would freak me out. I'm not going to lie, Charles. That would kind of freak me out. That's right. It was a paddle. I was like, oh shit, really? Wouldn't that be something if it came? Yeah. JK, I love the woman Jen from that video has become friends with Gabby's mom. They both lost a child. All right. No matter what turns out happened, I'm going to say I knew it all along. That's right. That's right. Me and Beanie said that. I swear we did. Let me go back through and look. I know I said that at least once. That's right, Beanie. I'm with you. I got your back. You cover me too. You tell them, I remember BlindViews said that. That's right. I knew it all along. That's what I've been telling you people. Brian was listening to Air Supply and thought, man, I'm all out of love. And I'm so lost without her. You made the connection. Damn it. Oh, I was looking in the wrong place. Air Supply, I never thought of them. I was looking at Megadeth lyrics. I was looking at I even went as far to look at in the band Slaughter. I went to their lyrics. Not to be confused with Slayer. Oh man. And that's just it. That's just it. If you're dealing with somebody that can off somebody like that, boom, then you never know. They might be fucking, all enthralled in a book or in lyrics and shit. And these people may be onto something. Who knows? You're like, man, these people are crazy. But they're talking about a crazy person. So a crazy person might think like that. You just never know. It is even like the blind guy show said, why this, why any story really, any story that everybody latches onto. Why is it that story? Why isn't it, little Shaniqua from the ghetto who's been missing for, or why isn't it, some crazy old man, some old dude that got in his car and left and hasn't been seen for, a month. Why isn't it that? Why is it just, why do we latch on to the ones we do? It is an interesting question. Isn't that the truth, Beanie? You never know. What was the name of the book? No, I actually still got it queued up. I didn't finish it. I stopped it.
Avoiding plastic containers and plastic waste. This is his last Instagram post before he vanished and his girlfriend went missing. It's all about how humans basically don't deserve to be on this earth. Okay, I know I sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist right now, but this is all going to tie together. Watch part 3, and I'm showing you the body cam footage where this starts to get really weird. Looking for freaking ever. I'm just trying to be thorough because I don't want anything to go unnoticed. Okay, now I'm gonna play the body cam footage. Also, ignore my hair. I have a hair mask in, please. But, in the footage, there's just so many points in which his characteristics line up with Oyster, like, in such peculiar ways that I just cannot explain it. In this first clip, they have just run out of water, Brian and Gabby. They're in the middle of a desert. It's 100+ degrees out, and they are being questioned by the police. So I don't know why he would turn down water, but he states that it's because he doesn't like plastic containers, just like Oyster. Like, I don't care how much you don't like plastic. If you're in the desert in 100+ degrees, you're probably going to accept a water.
I just want to say this is the second person that pointed this stuff out about him denying the water because he doesn't like plastic. And the other one was that unmasked lady. She wasn't, trying to tie it to anything. She was just making observations. So people are, picking up on certain things. It's kind of interesting to me. Ooh. Her audio is horrible.
Okay, could just really be into saving the planet, I guess. But here's another strange coincidence. Just like Oyster was abandoned and left by the group on this road trip, Brian states in the footage that his big fear is that Gabby's going to go off and take the van and leave him on the side of the road, basically, just like Oyster.
Oh, that audio is horrible. Sorry.
Also, very strange that he's laughing and smiling throughout this whole incident while his girlfriend is literally hysterical. Now, this is the weirdest part. I noted that Oyster had dirty feet, like it specifically says that, and that he walks around barefoot everywhere. Gabby posted this on July 30th. Brian hikes barefoot everywhere we go. If it were up to him, he wouldn't own any shoes. In fact, when the police are called, because of this whole domestic violence incident, Brian claims that the entire disagreement stemmed from the fact that he had dirty feet. Okay, I'm sorry this is taking for freaking ever. I'm just trying to be thorough because I don't want anything to go unnoticed. Okay, now I'm gonna play the body cam footage. Also, ignore my hair. I have a hair mask in, please. But, in the footage, there's just so many points in which his characteristics line up with Oyster, like, in such peculiar ways that I just cannot explain it. In this first clip, they have just run out of water, Brian and Gabby. Okay, but remember this passage that mentions the moth after Oyster is abandoned? This is Gabby's last post, and this was actually posted the day she disappeared. A lot of people have been pointing out that her hair is freshly highlighted, and it looks like it's taken place in October or around Halloween, and we're in August, so that's kind of weird. Look at the caption.
I didn't hear that, but that's interesting. The engagement thing. That's interesting.
What is that moth emoji doing there? Literally what?
Yeah, this is all. I think it's looping back. It's like on some repeat. I remember hearing this before. Oh man, her audio is horrible. but I don't remember what the name of the book was. Something about some oyster something. But yeah, right there you can see. I'll let you see the Speak Life Garden Homestead, and there's the name of the video if you want to go check it out. Interesting stuff. Oh, you heard already on? Yeah. Some of the early stuff I missed. Let's see. For people wondering, In Pursuit with John Walsh is tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on the ID channel or Discovery Plus, if you have that. Oh, cool. You were right. Sad thing is, she probably dreamed of getting that many followers on Instagram and YouTube, and she did it only in death. Yeah, you're right. You're right. There's no way that that video on YouTube would have got 4 million views if it had just been those two out running around at Yosemite and everywhere else. That's for damn sure. That is for damn sure. All right. Well, we did another long one, rolling up on 3 hours. I do believe I'm going to get the hell off of here. I do appreciate everybody coming and hanging out, though, and talking about this stuff again. Hey, as I find things, if I think the shit's interesting, I'll come back on and share it with you, and we can talk about it. And of course, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern time, it is Thursday for sure. And the regulars, you guys all know, and I'm sure you'll be here. We have some fun. I will be here as usual. This and all videos on this channel are brought to you by
Maximum Effort.
That's right, Maximum Effort Productions. And yes, if you don't mind, do appreciate it. Thank you, Pamela. All right. One more time before we get out of here, I want to thank my great, awesome, lovely members, the visionaries. You guys are amazing. Appreciate it. The blind viewers, I do appreciate all y'all support. And I do want to thank, I did get a super chat while I was on here. I do appreciate that as well. Yay! Thank you. Thank you for the members too. There you go. Give me a thumbs up on your way out. If you didn't, on your way in. If you come up with anything hit your mind, or you got something that you think I should look at, go ahead. You can leave me a comment in this video. You don't have to watch the whole thing again, but you want to drop by and leave a comment. That also helps. I do appreciate it. Any way to support the channel. Not always a monetary thing. I like a comment. Anything like that. A subscription. It all helps support the channel. All right, guys, I'm done blabbering. Till next time. This has been Blind Views. You guys are awesome. I enjoy talking about this stuff because it helps it get it out of my head and out in there. And you guys sometimes, I guess, show me another way and point me in a different direction. I do appreciate it. Until next time, this is Blind Views. And that's the way I see it.
What we do here is go back.